Hollyburn, Kate here from the Hollyburn Wine Society. I wanted to go through a couple different glassware shapes today because most of us have all these different shapes of glassware, but we don't always know why we use such different shapes for different beverages that we're enjoying. So I'm going to start here on this end with the champagne flute, this little guy here. So it is this shape because it's a little bit smaller, so the volume of liquid is going to stay relatively cold. It also has a small surface area opening at the top, so all of those bubbles and the carbon dioxide that are supposed to be enjoyed when you're actually having the beverage, they'll stay inside of the glass without escaping. If you poured a sparkling wine into a big, wide, open rimmed glass, all those bubbles would escape much more quickly, and by the time you go to drink most of it, it would be flat. The next one here would be just a classic white wine glass. There are many shapes for different wine glasses and even different types of varieties, and from different countries and different serving temperatures can all kind of relate to a different glass shape, but a typical white wine glass that you can just kind of know that it's going to work pretty well is something shaped like this, so kind of a tulip shape, relatively small opening, enough so that there's a little bit of a bulge near the bottom of the glass so that you can aerate the wine if need be. Typically white wine glasses will also be a little bit more narrow and a little bit smaller than a red wine glass because we want to keep the temperature pretty cold. A glass like this would be a more classic red wine glass. Of course, there's many different shapes that your red wine glasses can come in, but something that's really multi-purpose and will highlight most reds pretty well is something like this. It's got a very wide brim, a tighter brim at the top and a wider body area here. So that way when you're aerating the wine and giving it a bit of a swirl, there's actually lots of oxygen that's able to be incorporated into your glass of wine, which most of our reds need after they've been cooped up in a bottle for a few years. And then it actually comes kind of tight towards the top, and that way it actually traps the aromas in the glass so that when you bring it up to your nose and you're giving it a good smell, all those brilliant aromas are trapped inside, and you're going to get that as part of the enjoyment when you're actually ingesting the wine. The next one here, this is my personal favorite, a Martini Glass, I guess you'd call this. Really the thing to note about this is when you're having something that's high in alcohol, so something like a martini or a high spirit cocktail, there's a lot of ethyl alcohol, very kind of stingy, pungent feeling when all you smell is kind of alcohol. So the idea with the glassware that's really wide at the top like this is that all those kind of stinky aromas and the more kind of harsh ones, they escape the glass. There's lots of surface area for oxygen to kind of carry away those aromas, so it's not giving you as much of a harsh alcohol smell when you're drinking that. As for beer glasses, they're a little tricky because there's so many different shapes and sizes. Most producers have made a glass specifically for their beer so that you can enjoy it the way that they want you to enjoy it. But the important thing to know is that all of the aromas and the enjoyment when you're drinking a beer is actually trapped in the head. So most of the glasses have been designed to give you the right amount of head for the beer that's in that glass.